You know, in the American financial system, your credit score, it's like one of your most valuable assets. You can spend years, literally years, of being super careful and consistent to build it up. But to knock it down, well, that can happen a lot faster than you think.
It really just comes down to this. Yep, that's really all it takes. It almost always starts with something that feels, small. A single missed due date, a tiny oversight that just gets buried in the chaos of daily life.
So today, we're going to break down exactly how this happens, why the system is designed to react so harshly, and why this one little mistake is way more costly than most of us even realize.
To really get the damage, you have to understand the logic behind the score itself. And believe me, the logic is built on one single massive factor.
Okay, so take a look at this. This chart tells you pretty much everything you need to know. A full 35%, that's over a third, of your entire credit score comes down to one simple question. Do you pay your bills on time? Not eventually, not kind of close to the due date, but on time. It is by far the single biggest piece of the pie. And this gets right to the heart of how a lender thinks, right? They have no idea if you just lost your job or if you simply forgot to click the pay button. The system doesn't ask for reasons. It just records that you were late. And to them, a late payment is like a crack in the foundation. It's a sign that you might be at risk. So here's a really crucial point. Not all late is treated the same. The damage isn't instant. It actually gets worse and worse on a very specific and very unforgiving timeline. And it all kicks off at that 30-day mark. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. If you're just a day or two late, it usually won't even hit your credit report. Whew. But once you cross that 30-day line, that's the trigger. The lender reports it to the credit bureaus. Bam. If it gets to 60 days late, the damage gets even worse. And if you hit 90 days, well, that becomes a major black mark on your record, signaling a really big problem to any future lender. Each step is just a louder and louder red flag. So we know it's bad, but what does that actually look like in points? Well, the answer, it's actually pretty surprising. Okay, get ready for this because it's kind of wild. I call it the point drop paradox. A single 30-day late payment can cause someone with an excellent 780 score to lose up to 100 points. 100! But for someone with a kind of fair 680 score, the drop is way smaller. So why? It's because the system sees the high scorer's mistake as a total shock. A perfect record is actually more fragile. That one little mistake shatters the pattern of perfection, and the penalty is just brutal. Now, the immediate drop in your score is painful, for sure. But the real issue is how long this one mistake lingers. It casts a really, really long shadow over your financial life. That's right, 7. In the US, a late payment can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. Now, its impact does fade a little over time, especially if you get right back on track, but it doesn't just vanish. Lenders can still see it, plain as day. And why does this matter so much? Well, for those 7 years, that one slip-up can make it harder to get a mortgage or a car loan. It can mean you end up paying thousands of dollars more in interest. It can even be the reason you get denied for an apartment or charged way more for car insurance. A little mistake you made today can literally still be costing you money years from now. Now, it is so easy to hear all of this and just assume it only happens to people who are, irresponsible with their money. But the truth is, it's a lot more relatable than that.
Honestly, most late payments happened for simple, totally human reasons. You set up autopay, but oops, the payment failed for some reason. You completely forgot about a tiny $10 balance on a store card you never even use, or maybe a sudden emergency popped up and you had to focus on other things. It really does happen to the best of us.
And this is the critical detail. The credit reporting system is basically binary. It doesn't see dollar signs, it just sees on time or late. That's it. So that forgotten $10 medical bill that goes 30 days past due, it can do the exact same damage as a missed $1,000 car payment. The amount is completely irrelevant. So after looking at how it works, the damage it does, and all the reasons it can happen, what's the one lesson we should really walk away with? It all boils down to one single concept. At the end of the day, your credit score is basically a measure of financial trust. Every single on-time payment you make builds that trust up, brick by brick. A late payment, though, it shatters that trust instantly. And while you can rebuild it, it takes a long, long time of proving you're consistent again. And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. You can have debt, you can have a low income, but as long as you are consistently on time with every single payment, the system continues to trust you. More than pretty much anything else, that simple consistency is the absolute key to a healthy financial life.